Hey, what's going on, folks? This is Dimitri back again. In this video, we're going to discuss how to build wealth with your just regular work 9 to 5 job. Man, it's no side hustle required, no nothing, no side gimmicks or anything. 9 to 5, build your job, build your wealth, and get your, financially freedom with your regular job also intact without any side gimmicks. So let's get into it. A lot of people on YouTube's actually saying, like myself as well sometimes, that hey, you need it like a regular, like your side hustle and everything like that, which is good to have, but it's not necessary. So we're gonna go through 6 steps and 6 ideas that you can take and partake into your life so that you can basically build your wealth with the regular job and continue with your regular, good lifestyle and everything like that. But here's the catch. You will be there are a few things that you need to change. So step number 1, shift your mindset. And that's amazing how a lot of people do not do that. So too many people just think the salary and that they cannot build wealth with that. This is such a wrong understanding in terms of what's going on in life. So reality, 9 to 5 is one of the key features, key things that will help you to build your wealth. It will help you tremendously because it's a consistent income and it's a greatest wealth building tool that a lot of people just forsake or forget or whatever. So if you change your mindset in that specific regard, don't just work for money, but make money work for you. And that's like one of the beginning stepping stone that you can partake, and you should actual steps that actually take is to change your mindset, that understanding like, hey, what if I'm getting that money and that money has to work for me? So, and the key insight, wealth is built not by how much you earn, but how much you keep and grow based on that, right? So keeping it right. So step number 2, automate your savings and investments. So many people just forsake and forget, hey, to pay yourselves. That's amazing. So you have to pay, you pay everybody else but yourself. And that's like, especially with the folks who has like paycheck to paycheck, it's amazing. Like obviously there are, circumstances, people lose jobs or whatever. So that's yeah, I understand that. We're not talking about that. We're talking about the consistent behavior that like, we're spending on this, on that. Hey, I want this. All of a sudden I want this. All of a sudden I want this, or change and go back and whatever. So, and that's a consistent workflow where automation, there's nothing like that. There's no such thing. So like investment or setting aside or things like that. But when you automatically, so let's say you did research, you know what you're doing, or especially like, hey, I want to do this thing called investment and things like that. So let's say like stock, it's one of the most accessible features that can possibly be known to man at this point. If you just started, that's investments, actually stocks market and everything like that, with like $5 down or anything like that. So it's a very low entry fee in that sense. So you don't need to have like millions and millions of dollars. But anyway, automatically when you enter it, it's like, say you're setting aside, just to set aside. That's a good stepping stone, good practice to have, like, hey, I'm putting that money on the side, and automatically if you put an investment account, automatically invest in a good and respectful mutual fund, or good investments in terms of like stocks and bonds and anything like that, then on automation you will be saving like 10% or 5% from your income. But even though it's a small amount, sometimes like that's not a big amount, but in automation and things like that, you will accumulate a good amount of chunk of money. So all of a sudden, like not all of a sudden, but over time, with the consistency and pursuing that, you will get that. So you will get there. So if you set up transfers, auto transfers, so for 401k, which you already do, so a lot of folks in the United States, that's already set up, and Roth IRA or good mutual fund, index funds, things like that. Like some people invest in like like metal, like gold and everything like that, bonds. So on automate, so the key is that you pay yourself first through that automation, and that's amazing. That you do over time. It's a crazy amount of money that you can partake and get from investment on the rising side of things. So step number 3, maximize your workplace benefits. Oh man, there is a lot of folks that neglect, so to speak, that like it's being offered by the employee or employer, right? So the from 401k, like free money from, like a lot of folks just ignoring free money for employees. So just for example, like a coffee, a simple cup of coffee, that's amazing. Like so many, like there are a lot of employees that don't provide that thing, and some employees they just forget, and yeah, I'm gonna bring my own coffee. But in reality, I mean, I know, and I'm sorry for those folks, but who connoisseurs in coffee and everything like that. But for me, for a regular guy that just likes coffee, I like coffee, and it works for me. So for me, it's amazing opportunity just for that, utilizing that, and that's just a simple thing. 401k, maximizing that, HSA account, health savings account, it's amazing opportunity. Like I got taxed like that HSA account that they had, so read it through. But for me, in my situation, I had like that's also free money that employer paid me, and it's tax free. For example, if I want to take, like I do my braces or whatever, I did my braces, that was amazing. So and yeah, that's fantastic tool to partake and do tax-free money and everything like that, HSA related. So employee stock purchases, there's a company like providing stock benefits for your employees, and that's amazing. Usually those like rare finds that the companies do, and if they do, it's amazing opportunity to step in. And if you believe in the company and you work there, well, if you work there, you already believe there, you trusting them, they're your income, right? So that's amazing. So partake that. Don't forget about workplace benefits. So control your lifestyle and the things that creep in. So that's step number 4, I believe. Yeah. So and man, guys, you like a lot of folks, like when they get richer, so like let's say you're starting doing like those actual steps, like you're setting aside, you're putting that automation account like through Fidelity or whatever, or Charles Schwab, whatever financial brokerage you use, and those automation kicks in, and you got like a few $1,000 in the place, or on the plate or whatever, or you got an increase in your jobs and things like that. But amazing part that those weird expenses crop in and like creep in, and for some reason it's just like you folks getting again into the paycheck to paycheck style. It's just crazy. So what I'm gonna say is that do not fall into that trap. So fancy cars, no. So just buy the regular Toyota and like call it a day. What do we need? So we gotta get from point A to point B. That's it, done. Or like obviously if you need to impress somebody or whatever, yeah, that's for example, real estate agent, like there could be argument to do for business or for publicity or whatever. So that's a business expense, and you're in a different sort of like league in that way. So you can expense it and things like that, and all. So for business purposes and all that. So that's one thing. But for example, if you like, hey, regular work 9 to 5 job, like you go, you do your like whatever, let's say accountant or whatever, just I don't know, just account. Let's say accountant, right? So you need to get from point A to point B, no problem. And like those and nothing against Toyota or anything like that, it's not in a bad way, but in a good way actually, that it's not like it doesn't break, it's like doing its job, it does the job, and that's it. You don't need to maintain it. So like you maintain it all right, so you should be, and then you'll be okay. But in any case, like when folks like get richer and get like higher paid jobs, there's, let's say, hey, fancy car, bigger apartment, and that equals that's wrong. So it equals just actually killing the growth, killing the wealth. right? So you don't invest. You say you're buying a butter instead of a gun, like in the sense of you don't build your wealth. You're building, actually, you're just spending a lot of money. So in that regard, do not do that. Control your lifestyle, and that would be a lot of grateful things there. So step number 5, eliminate high interest debt. What I mean by that, so if you're leaking 20%, 25%, 30%, whatever the credit card rates you got, and you're leaking 20, like that percentage every month, and you pay that, and it's not gonna push you to the higher level of your income or wealth and things like that. So your salary, salary is one stream of income, which we discussed, like multiple streams of income we discussed in a few other videos. But if you eliminate that first, obviously there are good debt and bad debt, and that's my approach on that. There's that thing, research that. That's a good idea too, good topic to understand. But when you eliminate the debt that doesn't really make any money for you or anything like that, so things like credit cards that you just purchase, like regular things and things like that, or just expenses, so try to reduce that first. Try to reduce that debt, because like if you're leaking 20%, you're not making money on top of it, or that money is not giving you 50% on top of it, or like whatever. No, it's not going to work out. So that's where you need to finish it up, pay it out, and call it a day. So that's one of the keys. So, and finally, step number 6, think long term. Think that you are investing. And there are books, like I read one book, and I'm not really fan of it, but I understand the core concept. And like there's a Millionaire's Fast Lane. Nothing against that. I like the book, the topic that they're talking about, but there are some disagree with that. And long-term perspective is when you're building wealth, and what I wanted to approach. And when you read the book, it's a good book, so you might you can give it a shot. And it's not like sponsorship or anything, but just for your understanding, things like that. But long term, in the way of day trading, not chasing day trading, not chasing meme stock, not chasing that all of a sudden it's like a lottery breakthrough, whatever. So no, building wealth consistently. You have the mindset of, hey, you invest and it's there, and you're doing its job, so the money works for you. So dollar cost average, time in the market instead of timing the market, and there's a big difference. Time in the market, invest in there. So actually check it out. Capital gains, long capital gains and short capital gains. That's two good topics to understand, because if you're short, if you're less than a year, I believe in the United States, if you're less than a year in the stocks, this is short. If you're longer, it's long capital gains, and see the advantage there. This is a very nice, very good percentage of advantage there. So instead of those, so keeping your money in there, keeping your money working diligent, without staying the course, so to speak. And here's the good reference, Warren Buffett, and that's very wonderful person that made a lot of money in the way of investing. So why he invested consistently, he invested smartly, or smartly. He invested smart. Why? When people got anxious, he got greedy, or scared, he got greedy, he bought it. And when people got greedy, he was selling things. So think about that. But on basically, to give you a quick hint, is basically when you buy on the low and sell on the high, and that's where you basically sort of day trading, but that gets there with consistency, it gets there with understanding of the stock market and investments and things like that. So, but in any case, timing the market is not a good way of doing that, but time in the market and giving that money marinate and give you a good return, that's the way to go. So, and here you go. You don't really invested in any side hustle. You don't really went ahead and did anything. It's just crazy, just basically 9-to-5 job. And just for little twitch, you basically started making good progress and went on a way of building wealth. just by simply changing how you think, eliminating few things, controlling your lifestyle, maximizing benefits that are there for you actually to partake, and changing your mindset and automating and paying yourself first. So you gotta pay your bills, obviously. That's no brainer. But instead of like going backwards and things like that, so you can see, hey, you need that everyday coffee for $5, $6, $7, whatever. So then you just eliminate that and you go your way, and hey, here you go, you can save up a $6. There you go. So just that, think about it. But that's what I wanted to say to you. So if you guys like that video, like and subscribe down below. Let me know what you guys think about that. You don't really need a side hustle, but when you have a good paying job, 9-to-5 job, you can start saving money. Remember, invest early, invest consistently, and that will give you a good return. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think. Like and subscribe. Thank you guys very much for watching. I really appreciate you. So see you guys next time. Dmitry out. And thank you guys for watching Rich Man Meetup. See you guys later. Bye bye.